Apparently, Shuan had made a video about me. It's titled "The Male Loser Epidemic." I was told that I was mentioned and referenced in this video. I don't know if it's true. If it's not true, it's probably a bad video. Let's be honest.
Hello again, friends. Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit. Hopefully nothing too crazy happened. I feel like every time I take a break, like, a war breaks out or something.
That's
but
what happened to me.
Thankfully that did not happen.
Right?
But at least we found
Oh,
out
yeah.
the real Epstein files were the friends we made along the way.
This is a fake
Welcome
ones.
back to the Shoe on Head channel. If it is your first time here, run. I am Shoe on Head, and on this channel I like to cover cultural issues, mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a chipper, lively 24-year-old making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists, to a bitter, calloused 30-
I remember that. I found out about this girl from 4chan back in like 2000 and like fucking Gamergate days. And yep, I did.
24-year-old, talking about very real and growing men's issues. One of the main men's issues I have been covering in great detail lately has been the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic. It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
So here's the problem, bro. Like, you don't even use these pillows on your bed. Like, you're talking about being a loser. You got a bunch of pillows on your bed. You just put those on your bed so your bed looks good. Who does this?
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics. You don't care about politics. But politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid it. But thankfully, I have the perfect app to help you navigate this difficult, confusing political landscape. So let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News.
I knew it.
Before we get into this video, shall we? Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news from all across the political spectrum.
I think there should be a news app where it just tells you a bunch of shit that's not even true. They could call it CNN.
Left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full story and make sure you're getting both sides.
Yeah.
One of my favorite features from Ground News has to be the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here is a story about how the CIA uncovered a Russiagate fraud, and right away we can see how it has been covered by 41 sources, and out of those 41 sources, 93% of them lean right.
Wow, what a surprise. I would have never guessed.
With only 2 left-wing outlets reporting the story.
Yep.
Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see just how political bias can affect the framing of a story. For example, this story about Zoran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York. This left-leaning outlet says Zoran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zoran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York. As you can see, very different vibes.
Yeah.
I've been using Ground News since 2021 because I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps me see how different stories are framed so differently. And
I get my news from Twitter screenshots and AI videos.
But I highly recommend it. It's one of the few apps that I wake up and just immediately check.
Yeah, it's AI. Damn, that's what happened.
Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay
arrested
informed,
Obama.
avoid
Wow.
echo chambers, and expand your worldview.
That's
High
crazy.
praise. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only like $5 a month, which is like the price of a coffee. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code right there on screen or the link in the video description down there to subscribe to Ground News today. I feel like what they're doing is really important, especially right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair and balanced way. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad.
That's me.
Right? Now, let's get back to the video. With all these issues men are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats...
Because left-wing policies are that women or men are bad. What a surprise that the policy that women should receive preferential treatment isn't popular with men. Who could have ever guessed that? It's a fucking mystery. Oh my God.
Democrats have essentially just become the young men eat and die movement.
Exactly.
Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct.
That's
now
right.
the Democrats have unveiled their final solution.
And by the way, a lot of young guys, Trump isn't right-wing enough. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get ready. Get ready. We're in for a really fun 10 years.
To the right-wing male loser epidemic. Yeah. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class. Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves.
No. See, I don't know if she knows about this at all, but so the Democrats catered a luxury hotel for them to all get together and, fly in and have like a catered meal service event for them to discuss why they can't relate to every average working class people. I'm not even kidding. They're so stupid. Yeah.
On election day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists holing up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men to return to the party. Ah, yes. How do you do this? Nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys.
Yeah, good one.
The plan? Codename SAM, or Speaking with American Men.
Isn't that SWAM?
Plan promises to use the funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces.
Okay, the syntax. All right, so there's a word that starts with F, you're not supposed to say it, and there's a couple other words that you also aren't supposed to say either. And if you go on the internet, you'll see a lot of guys use these words a lot.
The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is treating young men like exotic animals they're studying.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see here, is the young man in his...
That's crazy. Wow. How about that? This is in the male loser epidemic video. That's crazy.
His natural habitat, in a dark, messy cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty Mountain Dew bottles.
It's true.
Here is another young man, as you can see, also dwelling in a dark cave.
Yes.
This one has dyed his hair blue to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential mates. But moving on, here is another young man, we think. We're not quite sure about this one.
Nobody knows.
We're still studying it. Listen, Democrats, instead of spending $20 million to do that stupid maybe you should... I don't know, actually listen to men. I listen to men for free all the time. All I have to do is read my comment section. Let's see here. Shoe on Head is a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19...
This is my alt account.
Greetings from Albania. I hate women so much it's unreal. Ooh,
Yep.
Ooh, mommy, milkies, mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle. Okay, on second thought, maybe my comment section is not the best source.
Since Trump scored big with young male voters last election, Democrats are spending $20 million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys...
It is. They should listen to you instead.
Should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's it.
You have to understand that this is Andrew Tate for women, okay? Every disaffected, bored, disenfranchised, wine, fucking drunk housewife is sitting at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon listening to this bullshit, okay? It's Andrew Tate for women.
Don't bear that out now. Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yep. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh.
The reason, by the way, guys, the reason why a lot of guys live at their mom's house is because they don't have any money. That's the reason why. Like, it's nothing else besides that. Like, and this is the way, by the way, this is the way it's supposed to be, is that men are supposed to go out and get a job and provide for a family, and women are supposed to have kids and take care of the kids. That's the way it's worked for 1,000 years, and don't let any weird feminist on TikTok tell you that it's wrong. That's the way it's worked, and in 1,000 years from now, that's probably still the way it'll work, unless we've replaced women with robots by then, which will, I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Hopefully, but we'll see.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrats are spending $20 million to relate to young men, this came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely viral on Twitter. I
think that there's a lot of attractive women that don't really understand the struggle that like an average or below average attractive guy goes through whenever he's not able to like get any sort of relationship with a girl. He's not able to get female attention. He goes on one of these dating websites and, you know, no girl matches with him. And there's one girl that does, and it turns out it's a bot to promote an OnlyFans for somebody who's an AI girl that's managed by a man in India. You know, like, this is really, it's depressing. And so, like, you have women like Tommy Lauren, she's attractive, right? And so, like, she probably doesn't even see this issue at all. But as somebody who's, you know, well, you know how it is. And so, as somebody who's in that situation, let me tell you that it is very, very demoralizing, especially as a guy. And so the reason why those guys, you don't want to be dating the guys that are living in their basements ordering DoorDash. It's not like there's like this huge amount of, you know, girls that are out there. Oh man, I can't wait to find my perfect husband that lives in his mom's basement and, you know, orders DoorDash and jerks off to hentai. It doesn't exist. They can't afford DoorDash. Well, they can. It's on their mom's card. And so anyway, it's on their account. And so that's it, addict? Yeah, sure. And so that's the big reason that a lot of women, I think, can't relate to this problem, is because they don't even know that these guys exist. They don't see them at all. They're not even real. And so anyway, it sounds like quite the catch. Yeah, exactly. And so what these women really want is they want a guy that has his life together, that has a good job, and can support them and support a family. That's what women want. And if you are that kind of a guy, your chances of getting a girlfriend are a lot higher. Like, that doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but it means it's good. And by the way, 3,000 years ago, the guy that could catch a buffalo and kill a buffalo was the guy that reproduced. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Nothing has changed. All right? But it never will. This is just the way it is. The alpha, yes. Can we go back to that? Yeah, go out there. Yeah, you want to go kill a buffalo? Go ahead. Get what jobs? Where are all these jobs? Just make one up on the internet. Just make up a bullshit job on the internet where you get people to give you money.
Not good reasons.
Simple.
So we are going to unpack this piece by...
Give me 1 second. Sorry, I gotta take another phone call.
So we are going to unpack this piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong. So come join me in debunking the male loser epidemic. Because who else better equipped to talk about men's issues than two stupid blonde bimbos? Hold on 1 second.
Whoa, wait a second. Yeah.
3 stupid blonde bimbos.
There you go.
Sorry. I felt left out. All right, let's go. Wait.
Is that a wig?
I need my gamer fuel.
I don't know how people drink energy drinks. I'm gonna be honest. I cannot do that shit, bro. Like, I cannot, never do.
See? I do drink it.
Yeah.
That one's for you, Tectone.
It's a major problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. There is a massive epidemic of guys that don't want to have anything to fucking do with society. All they want to do is sit at home, jerk off to fucking anime girls, and play video games, and order DoorDash. No, you're 100% fucking right. And that number is getting bigger every single day. And the reason why is because they can't get anything else. That's the reason why.
Tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes
I was just called a lazy retard.
to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One f***ing guy. Because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally
there's plenty of girls that are losers too. It's just that the hot ones have OnlyFans now. Before, they just used to post on MySpace. That's it. Girl failures? Yeah.
this into a fake phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back? Don't worry, I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs, f*** you.
I'm gonna be honest, I think that's what guys need. I'm gonna just say it straight out. I think that a lot of guys, they straight up need somebody, hey, you fat fucking retards sitting around jerking off to an anime girl that looks like she's, well, I'm not gonna say. You need to fucking stop, bro. You can get your life together. You can stop. Yeah, wake the fuck up, bro. Like, stop it. Like, yeah, oh, wow, another day of masturbating and being silver in Marvel Rivals. Oh, this is, yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's really going to be good for your life. Ah, for sure, bro. Like, yeah, you're gonna go Celestial. You're going to go on a pro team, sure. Definitely, guys.
Nice. Thanks. I love you. I love you, too.
The fuck up, yeah. Men need harsh reality checks? Yeah, they do, but the problem is that when it comes from an attractive woman who's in a position of privilege, it comes as bullying. Because, like, you have an attractive woman who's talking down to these guys, and they're like, well, what the fuck? Like, I mean, because, like, really, I mean, being a hot girl is... I mean, there are disadvantages to everything, right? And like being an attractive girl, you have to deal with stalkers and things like that. Sure, right? But in general, there's a reason why women get plastic surgery to look attractive and not to look ugly, unless you're Madonna. And so there's a reason for that. It's because women experience benefits and privileges and advantages in life by being attractive. That's true. And men do also. It's not like men don't experience privileges by being attractive, but with women, it's more pronounced. Uh-oh.
Is the amount of young men living home with their parents increasing? Yes. Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No. And also, they're not
This is why my viewership is going up.
For DoorDash, Tommy. They're financing it. Come on.
True.
Get with the times.
There are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
Have either of you tried applying for a job as a young man recently? Or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young men? Have you experienced the dating market, been on the dating sites as a young man? No? Interesting, okay. Just wondering.
Of course not.
I know the average age of a Fox News viewer is like 70 nowadays, and you need to pander to them. But Tommy, you are like 2 years younger than me. You know this isn't true. Why are you talking like this?
Well, it's because in her life it is. Because she doesn't know anybody that's in that situation. Because she's rich and privileged, and she's never had to deal with anybody like that in her life. And maybe the one person that she has had to deal with like that, she thinks they're a retard. So that's the real reason why. It's because they've never had to deal with it, never had to see it themselves. And so, like, yeah, it must be nice. Well, the thing is that, again, like, I understand that, like, women get a lot of advantages in the world. I will tell you something. I thank God every day I was born a man. Oh, my God. I would never want to be a woman.
Talking like a f***ing boomer. I'm sorry, I have no other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people.
Right.
Now, young people can afford a nice nose job and lip filler and get a cushy job on Fox News based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain-dead boomer-ass take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality. This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a f***ing house.
Yeah.
And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers. They are lovely people. A lot of you guys are boomers. But when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their best. They are not sending you. They're sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation. They're falling for AI-generated photos on Facebook. But some, I assume, are good people. But my God, I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family on a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away their—
Another big factor is that a lot of guys are stupid. So the way that IQ distribution works is that men have more variance where women are like more clustered in the middle. And because of that, you have a lot of stupid guys. You have a lot of smart guys too, but you have a lot of stupid ones. And if you're a stupid guy, back in the day, your job used to be you had a hammer and then you would turn the big rock into little rocks. And then after that, you had a wrench and then you would turn the nut that's this way, you would turn it to that way. And then the next one would come on, and there's a bolt. You have to take it from here over to here. And that was your job. And you got paid equivalent of $200,000 a year to do that job. And your life was amazing. But now there's a robot that does that job. The person who made the robot has even more wealth and income. You are sitting at home living on food stamps, DoorDash, and disability. You don't even have a disability, but somehow you got it anyway. And you're complaining about women. That's what happened. And so that's it. So basically, the issue, and this issue is just going to keep getting worse. Nobody talks about this. Is that the issue of IQ is that each person has, this is IQ, I spelled IQ wrong. That's really impressive whenever you think about it. IQ to job possibility. Yeah, so anyway, I'm probably not at the front here, as you guys can see. And so this is, let's say, 50, and this is 150, all right? So this is an IQ distribution. I know obviously people are outside of this, but let's just go ahead and use this. So in like right here, if you had an IQ of, let's say, 70, you could get a job. Now you need an IQ of, let's say, 95 to get a job. Well, eventually with technology, all of the decision-making jobs will still be done by people, but the automated jobs where you effectively perform the tasks of a robot that just performs a repetitive task over and over, these will be replaced by technology. And so whenever the average IQ needed in order to process the functionality of a job is 110, all of the people that are below that IQ are going to be out of a fucking job. So what do you do with those people? Well, you can kill them. You can turn them into food. You can make them slaves. But the one thing that you definitely are probably not going to do is pay them to sit around and do nothing. And this is an impending problem that nobody wants to talk about. And the reason why nobody wants to talk about this problem is because discussing the concept that IQ is, there's a spectrum that everybody has, right? Like there's like a best case scenario and a worst case scenario for each individual person. Some people, their level cap is level 15. Other people, their level cap is level 70. It depends on who it is. But some people are born with less talent points than others. And don't ever fall for the illusion that everybody is equal. There's just some things that some people are good at. Yeah, there are some things that you're good at, but if the thing that you're good at, a robot is also good at, well, it doesn't really fucking matter, does it? So, no, there's no equality between people in the same way that height is not equal, in the same way that weight is not equal, appearance is not equal, nothing else in the entire human anatomy is equal, but we're supposed to assume that our brains are exactly the same? It's crazy. Of course it's not true. And so the unfortunate and the uncomfortable reality is that right now, we're here. Right now, we're right here. And what happens is that all of those manufacturing jobs are now being removed. And then you're going to have retail jobs that will also get removed. And so what's going to happen is this is going to cause further consolidation of wealth inside of the wealthiest 1 to 5% of the population. And you have kids now. You have kids like 15 years old that are making $10,000 a month on the internet. Meanwhile, you have adults that are slaving away at a shitty job because they're not smart enough to figure out a way to make money on the internet or with some other sort of tool. And the reason why is intelligence. And that's it. And you can't train a person like that, like a moron like this, somebody who's down here at the 70s. You're never going to teach this person to do something that's functionally useful. They're stupid. They're always going to be stupid. They're never going to be able to overcome this ever. There's never going to disagree. Guys, this isn't a fucking disagree. This isn't a fucking debate. It's a fact. It's a fucking fact. And so this is the thing. Yeah, the mob's important. Yes, exactly. Below 70s retard. Well, I'm not saying like, every day I say this. I said this is why you need UBI, universal basic income. You either have to do that or we have to bring back slavery, one or the other. Those are two options. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. But one day you'll realize that I was right. There are things that I'm right on and things that I'm not right on yet. And some people, you guys might be in the second category, but soon you'll be in the first. I kind of agree with you, but IQ tests are very one-dimensional, don't you think? How many of you guys went to a public school and you know exactly what I'm talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about here. You teach them algebra and they just never fucking get it, bro. They never figure that shit out. It's never going to happen. It's obvious you haven't entered the labor market in a long time. Well, that sounds like a... it is, and this is the kind of person, like, we got to move on. But, like, I was going to read this real quick. You're pretty out of touch. IQ is only a small part. It's actually a massive part. And you don't understand. So basically, you're dumb, number one. So you're banned. Number two, IQ is a massive part because IQ dictates your ability to critically think. Critical thinking and decision-making that can transcend robotic decision-making is what will be preserved as automation and technology replaces jobs. So unless you can critically think and come to conclusions that way, then you're going to have a bad time. That's it.
Economic future.
What's this here? I still love you, but I think you're wrong on the IQ bit. Okay. Work ethic is important. A horse can work harder than any person. That doesn't matter. Like, it's such a, like,
from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. They inherited the greatest economy known to man, and they pretend it's a paradise that they earned. I just don't understand, like, why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so many millennials and Zoomers don't want—
Because the reason why they think that is because acknowledging that means that you lived with a privilege, and you don't want to acknowledge that because acknowledging that you lived and you were a beneficiary of a privilege like that gives you the ability to, now you're thinking, oh man, maybe I'm guilty because I had this thing. Like, people build up their self-identity of being successful because of their own behavior, and oftentimes that's part of it, but there are also external factors that you can't control. Like, for example, everybody here, you did have a Nat 20 roll by rolling in a country that speaks English, one of the most spoken languages in the world, and you have high-speed internet. There's over 1 billion people that don't have access to the internet. Really. And so the problem is that people are very bad at acknowledging that they have certain privileges. And that's also because certain privileges are imaginary or made up, but also it's because it perceptually devalues their accomplishments. That's the reason.
Kids. I want to make the world a better place for my children.
Yep.
I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat.
Oh, got 'em.
Children. Not happening.
That's a cat.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming...
It's such a wrong take. Plenty of high IQ people don't believe in the system. I feel bad for so many people. There are so many people out there. You are so hopelessly delusional. I feel bad for you. I really do.
Lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat? I know there's
It's simple. It's because women and men's roles in society are different. And for women, it's okay to be lazy in a lot of cases. Because that's not what they're not supposed to go out and fucking work in an oil field. There's no women out there working in oil fields. That's the reason why. It's different.
A decrease in testosterone or something happening, but men are moving right-wing all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot of far-right femboys, so...
There sure are.
Maybe. But here's the thing, Tammy. There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None. In fact, all the data says the exact opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the same.
That's insane.
Another study by Archbridge Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50% of men said the same. For men, the most commonly cited factor was personal finance, but among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence.
Which both of these are valid, to be fair.
They don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas.
That's right.
They've been ass blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will be ruined, they'll never have fun again, they'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children, best decision I've ever made. 10/10, highly recommend, would do it again. But yes, this idea that men are the ones primarily responsible for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly,
I think that there's a lot of women out there that do also want to have kids too. But I think there's also there's a lot of in-betweens, right? I think the 50% and the 63%, these are kind of extreme statements. And I think that more people would be swayed to the middle or swayed to the other side if there was a situation that presented itself that looked hopeful to them.
Not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
This is gonna be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends
Ho's mad every time, bro. You knew this shit was the case. Okay, yep. I knew it. Who could have guessed?
Attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on.
That's nice.
Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think it might not be us. It might.
Wait a minute. So if you only have issues with other people, no matter how many people you go through, if you're the common denominator, what? No, it's but it's the opposite though, right?
Might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. They, quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage. Are usually...
That's true. That's absolutely true. She's right. They're not. They don't have any sort of... They don't have a career. They can't support themselves, etc. Yeah, the economy sucks. Economy sucks dick. And the thing is that you're going to see a bunch of attractive women that are talking about this problem because this is, again, it's like you don't even understand this issue because it's completely alien to you.
Not ready to be husbands and fathers.
That's a cultural issue. So, look,
no, I would actually, back to your point, I think it's a biological thing.
So let me get...
It's both. It is a biological issue in a certain case, but, well, actually, actually, no, it's not. Wait a minute. I'm just thinking about this more. No, people used to get married when they were like 15. What are you talking about? That's not even true. It's a cultural and an economic reason. Yeah, what do you think? People used to get married at 30 back in the day? No, people used to die at 30 back in the day.
The straight. Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents.
By the way, in order to understand most people's relations and how they feel about the opposite gender, all you have to do is look at their last 3 relationships. And if you look at those 3 relationships, you can almost always understand exactly where they're coming from.
But wait, there's more. She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table. And as a woman...
Well, they don't, because they can have kids. That's the reason why. I wish more people would just say this. It's true. I mean, to be fair, you have to bring a little bit, right? You can't be fucking crazy. You can't be anything else. Yeah, biological clock. Yeah, exactly. Like they have an innate intrinsic value by their ability to produce children. Men don't have that. They just don't. That's it. That's the reason why they evacuate women and children out of a boat first. Like a smaller amount of men can repopulate a population versus women. One dude can have 5 baby mamas, but one baby mama can't have 5 dudes' kids at the same time. I don't think. If that was the case, it's probably be on like one of those tabloid magazines. That's a terrible argument, man. Most people don't think about that at all. I know, and that's the problem. People don't think about that, but it's innately true. And the problem is that we live in a society that actively works against our biology. And the society that actively works against its own biology, it tries to refute it. It creates rules, regulations, and rationalizations for why it exists, and not just simply accepting it for what it is. That's the reason why we have all these problems. It's because people will not accept reality. They want to create their own reality because it makes them feel good. That's it. But what I'm saying is ultimately true. Do you agree that most of the youth got destroyed by an outdated academic system? No, I don't think that's it. To an extent, but there's like 50 different things. So we should bring back polygamy? look, I don't know who fucked this up. I don't get it. You know, you read the Old Testament. These guys have like 9 wives. Who the fuck decided we should only have 1? What moron decided that? What cuck did that? Like, I don't even know. Like, we had it made back then. Like, if you go back and you read the Old Testament, like, yeah, okay, a lot of people die. But, you know, the guys that like, don't, like, man, they got it fucking made. How? Yeah, bro, like, we missed out.
I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector and a provider. If you think you need to get something out of it,
well, they definitely do. And that's the thing, is that there's a social contract, right? It's the same as like, you know, if you want a man to fulfill a traditional role, then you should be willing to fulfill a traditional role as a woman. You shouldn't expect this to be a one-sided transaction. That's the issue with what happens. It's that women want to have the privileges of modern-day society. Or sorry, they want to have the privileges with, you know, the antiquated biological society that we've had for thousands of years. And they also want to have the opportunities that modern society provides them with at the same time. That's the issue.
quite frankly, don't consider you a real man.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video, because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this. If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame, blame, blame. These two women have a combined age of 93, and they have 0 children between both of them. You both have repugnant personality types, so listening to this was like male birth control to me.
Damn.
My goodness! Boomers are ruthless! Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18,
what does that have to do with anything?
Rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place.
Yeah.
She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men. Who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started a family. I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes, we know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed.
You worked on the assembly line on Dodge, and now you probably get confused by AI videos because you're actually stupid. You're dumb. You're a stupid old person. And the only reason why you were able to make money and have a good life is because the world hadn't advanced to make people like you irrelevant. That's the reason.
Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my son stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest. Okay, I really gotta ask, is this an Anglo thing? Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18 years old?
Yeah, it is. It's mainly a white people thing, for sure. It is. It's what is the word? I think it's bad. I think it's a white people L. I don't know why we do this.
My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And honestly, why the f would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking, for a woman who probably can't cook? Not me, though. Personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals. I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
Hey! Hey! Wow!
Bone apple teeth. Now, unfortunately,
delicious.
Tommy Lauren wasn't the only one pushing this stupid, lazy young men go get a job bullshit. Mike Johnson did it, referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise did it with 35-year-old men playing video games.
Bro, they are really trying to kill my stream. They're actively out to get me. They're trying to fucking shut me down, man.
All day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV. Again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son.
I was a pioneer at this. Whenever I was a little kid, I never wanted a job. They told me I had to have a job. I said, bet. I'm going to just steal things from McDonald's, and I'm going to just fucking walk out of Walmart without paying for my stuff, and everything's going to be fine. I'm going to play video games forever, and I'll steal people's Wi-Fi, steal their internet.
It's a phrase that's taken off since 27-year-old Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy. And he has a master's degree in political science, but he's
so he's a master's degree in political science and he's unemployed. Yeah.
Employed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
Oh, get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into Jobland, where jobs grow on jobbies?
The term welfare queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job.
This is the reason, by the way, why a lot of guys are super right-wing. And it's why they hate Democrats, and it's the reason why I think they're like super Trump supporters and everything. It's because basically they view, I think this is the way that a lot of guys see, they view policies that are enacted by liberals and Democrats as being things that actively disadvantage them. And they're right. They are. Like, if there is a policy that gives privileges to women or opportunities to women, and you're a guy, you've just been fucked. If there is something that gives a privilege or an opportunity to, not necessarily true. No, it is. It's true. Like, if you provide a preferential treatment to one gender, then that gender has an advantage. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's zero-sum. Yeah, that's just how it is. Of course. Like, as I've said this before, right? Anytime that somebody advocates for something that would categorically make me ineligible for a benefit for like my race, my gender, my sexuality, I'll never vote for that person. I am a single issue voter on that topic. Anything that they ever try to push that is like, oh, well, you know, if you're this group of people, this immutable characteristic, if you're gay, you get this opportunity. Nope. That's a nope. That never. And by the way, everybody should be like that. I wish more of you guys would act that way.
Lazy attitude is not
stop voting for people that want to that hate you and want to take your money away. It's pathetic.
But it's especially funny coming from Fox News, of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk for years about how Americans are being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor. Companies and billionaires would rather have cheap labor they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little worker drones who won't unionize.
By little, what she means is children, like in California. Because if the kids work, you can pay them in Tootsie Rolls instead of dollar bills.
Rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie Sanders called open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Open borders? No, that's a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would make a lot of the global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation.
See, yeah, this is fucking exactly. Like, I don't know why everybody, this is the shit that I say and everybody says I'm a fucking Nazi. What is this? How does this fucking happen? How the fuck did this happen?
State.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these jobs being taken are jobs traditionally held by men, like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work.
Not coming back, by the way.
It's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many, many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80% men, and electronic engineers, which are 90% men.
Wow.
And many more like that. Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders.
They need to get rid of that shit. I'm gonna be honest. They do. They need to get rid of this shit. This is ridiculous.
On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy...
Or at least, like, nerf it by, like, 95%. Like, I'm okay with bringing in people that are, like, really high performers, but if you're basically bringing in equivalent performers just to pay them less money and abuse them more because their employment and their housing is tied to their employment with you, that's the problem. I think, like, this needs, like, a 90 to 95% nerf.
He tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest. Yeah, okay. You're paying them less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country.
Yeah,
it's coercive, exploitative, and, dare I say, not very America first. When conservatives confronted Elon Musk for this last year, he told somebody, and I quote, "Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend." So when it comes to...
Well, that's okay. I mean, like, it's fine. Like, the thing is that bringing in high-performing immigrants is a good thing. But bringing in immigrants that just simply perform at the same level that other Americans perform at a lower cost, that's bad. Like, there's a very big fucking difference here.
Placing American workers in manual labor with cheap foreign labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative action and DEI, which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just, like, don't exist anymore. Then it's, oh, young men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement ordering DoorDash and playing video games.
Yep.
But it's not just
also, if you're a guy and you can't get a job, you need to figure out how to scam people on the internet and have them give you your money. Their money. You need to get their money. You need to find a way to make it to where their money is in your account. That's your goal. You have to get their money and make sure that their money in their account goes into your account. Sometimes you can do this. There's a lot of ways you can do this. Never, ever play a rigged game. If you feel like things aren't working out for you, you need to sign up for disability immediately. Sign up for disability and play video games all day until you feel like stopping. That's it.
brown people taking your jobs.
Yep.
I am not beating the allegations with this one. The brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not their fault. They're just cheaper. Aim upwards. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. It's the women, too. Many of the dying industries are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries are female-dominated, and stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher-paying, higher-position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women changing, the role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about $1,000 more annually than men.
Well, this makes anybody that knows anything knows this is true. This is obviously fucking true. Anybody could guess this. Of course.
Reversing the traditional gender pay gap for this age group. In the US, a 2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings at or above 100% of men's in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses,
This will not be a problem whenever they have AI robot girlfriends. This is a problem that will solve itself.
focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage.
Don't worry about this.
The challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million. Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively.
Well, that's because education is tailored towards women. That's the reason why. It's that any sort of violent or aggressive behavior in school that is just typical of guys, and the way that guys act in general is viewed as problematic, or you get in trouble for it. That's the reason why. It's prejudice against men. Yeah, exactly. Like, no, I'm just being honest.
Badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women without a college degree, whose marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980, according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date.
See, that's what I was saying. And it's never going to get better. It will only get worse. And the thing is also, here's what's interesting about it, is that the women that are also stupid at that age, by the time that they're older, like let's say 40 or 35, if they're not sexually attractive and, you know, they already had kids or, you know, for whatever reason, they're kind of outside of that biological clock period, their value goes into the garbage as well. Because that's the way it works. People get really mad at me for saying this, but like, I'm right. Like, I'm right. It's so obvious. All you have to do is look at reality.
Men are poor, women most affected. Modern women are no longer tied to their gender roles. Birth control has freed them from the prison that is their biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all. They can do anything. They can be anything. While at the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider.
This is what I was saying before about preserving privileges while still maintaining opportunities.
It can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money.
Basically, men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money. Hello class, I am Miss On Head. I am substituting for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy. So today we are learning about the graph.
Oh, I've shown
this is
graph.
The growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can trace almost everything bad happening in society
this is a bad
back
graph.
to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased while compensation barely grew over the same time period. Notice they tracked very closely
Keep in mind, it only goes to 2017. Imagine what it is now.
Until around 1972. Now, what happened around 1972, class? Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70% in 1964 to 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began to stagnate. Income going to the 1% rose from 9% in the 60s to 16%. In 2023. CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average worker to making 350 times more than the average worker. Anything else? Anything else happened around 1972? Yes, Jimmy, that is correct. Women joined the workforce around this time, but we don't have to get into that today.
Oh, it's absolutely a factor. Men having to compete with women inside of a workforce obviously is able to drive down wages. Of course that's what happens. Like, I'm not against women being able to work, right? I mean, of course you should be able to do what you want to do, but like, yeah, of course it had that effect, obviously.
Is hard work no longer guarantees success, and the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And young men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there some truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess. Every generation had lazy people.
Yeah.
And we do basically live in...
Socrates wrote about how people are lazy nowadays in ancient Greece. It's nothing new.
late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are faced with two options: revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism. Many have basically given up, but it's not like they didn't try. They tried, and they found out the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, whether it's college, dating, or the job market.
That's right.
And in a way, many young men are kind of choosing revolution. The never-before-seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution in a way. They're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks, I hate this, I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men that are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this recently in New York City, where Zohran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist, won the Democratic primaries. Young men are
We've got to keep in mind, like, this guy, like, comes from a super rich family. Like, it's not like he's ever really had the struggle, right? And this is the issue that I think a lot of people like that have like these very high-minded ideals, is that they never have to live with the consequences of their own ideals, right? They have a lot of luxury values because they live a luxury lifestyle. Right, is Nepo baby? Yeah, sure, right? But like that's always how it is.
Tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system and they want to burn it down and start again. They want something that works for them because this is not working for them.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
He's completely right. He's absolutely right.
Huh. Fox News should hire that guy. There is an entire generation of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing to live for. You should probably start caring.
Remember what I told you guys about this? This is going to happen in Europe first before it happens in the U.S. But, like, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a pretty interesting time.
Saw this airing on Fox News. They saw an angry woman nagging in their faces about how everything wrong in the world is their fault. And all too familiar.
I think that, another big factor for this clip that made people mad is the fact that she's I would say she's attractive, right? And it's like another one of the, like, it's like another attractive woman that is been like, if she was fat and ugly, would she be on that panel in Fox News? Well, everybody knows the answer to that. No, she wouldn't. And everybody knows that. And so you have a person who is there by the nature of their nature, and they're speaking down to other people because they're not working super hard in order to make up for that. It's pretty privilege. Yeah, no, that's it.
Thing they have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody under the age of 60 watches Fox News, so this is not really going to have an effect on young men whatsoever. So keep that $20 million. You might still need it, unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come running back to the Democratic Party. Maybe not. Maybe not even a George Bush II electric boogaloo will have men coming back to the Democratic Party.
No, we're going to see, I think this is what's going to happen, is that you're probably going to have, like, I think J.D. Vance in a lot of ways is, like, much more right-wing and much more conservative than Trump is. And I think that the people that are going to come after him are going to be even more right-wing and even more conservative. And I think that the shifts that you're going to see pretty soon here, especially in terms of what's publicly acceptable to discuss, I think that we're probably going to see public conversations about women being able to be in the workplace. I think you're going to see public conversations, you might not believe this, but about women voting, period. And there's actually a good chance that this will become a popular talking point again, because a lot of men, I don't believe it. Okay, you're going to find out. Clip it. That's disgusting. I'm telling you what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Based on what? Based on the increasing polarization between genders and the growing perception that women make decisions that are based off of things that are not necessarily logical. I think that a lot of men perceive that, and they view that issue as being an existential problem. I think this is a very common sentiment. A lot of people won't say it. I'll say it. And again, wait 5 years. Wait 10 years. Clip it, and then come back to me. Remember what I said about Hunter Biden running for president? And, you know, like getting in the public eye again? Everybody said I was insane. Just wait and see.
Hopefully we don't find out. And as I'm editing this right now, a lot of young people, even the podcast bros, seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them, but
it won't matter.
We'll see, I guess. Hold on one second.
Yep.
That's better.
Good one.
So that was that video. What do you think of the male loser epidemic? Do you agree with Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault? Leave your comments below. I read them all. I am probably...
It is men's fault, but hearing it from a pretty girl who has had every privilege in her life is fucking annoying, and it's obnoxious, and that's why people reacted as negatively as they did. And also men have a lot of structural disadvantages in society now. That's another really big reason.
Reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No. You can't say that.
Yep.
No, it doesn't matter if it's with an A. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you can, donate to me on Patreon or leave a little tip with a little tip jar down below. I'll give it a little heart. It helps the channel and I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys again soon with a new video, a new slop video.
Oh,
I know
good.
you Gremlins love that shit.
Oh, good. Maybe it's going to be about pirate software. Ah, yeah. It's my fault? Yeah, sure. And anyway, I like the video. I think this is a really good video, and I'll link it to you guys, and you guys can take a look at it. Yeah, W video. Yeah, I think that, like, the reality is that a lot of what this comes down to is optics as well, and understanding that and understanding how talking to a person is going to make them feel a certain way, I think is necessary in order to understand how people think, right? That's it. Rare topic, very important. Well, the issue is that, like, men's issues, like, if you think it's bad, by the way, if you think it's bad here, you should see South Korea. Holy shit. Oh my God. Like, that's like 1,000 times fucking worse than how it is over here. And so, like, that's really how I look at it. Elaborate, explain, why would pirate do this? I don't know. And so, yeah. And they're fucked over there? Yeah, they are. And what's crazy is she says young women want to get married, and as if young men don't. It's just that all we have is low-end work and average looks, and God forbid we want a career that we don't hate for average money. Well, I think that men just simply... I think men are just at a lot of disadvantages. Like, there are companies that provide preferential hiring for minorities and for women and for people that have, you know, like they're like gay or something like that. I mean, there are preferential hiring processes and, you know, preferential treatment programs that are existing for them. And because of that, that's what's going to alienate a lot of men. That's what's going to make a lot of men very angry about it, because they're being set at a disadvantage on purpose. And so, nothing for gays, let's be real. Well, no, there absolutely is. I mean, like, all you have to do, look at Blizzard. Like, you think there's nothing for gays? Go over and try and work for Blizzard and find that out. And so, yeah, there you go. And for low pay and overtime per diem, yeah, sure. Everyone knows it. Everybody can see it. That's why a lot of men are fed up with it. Yes, as a guy, you should never accept the current system. Never vote for people that want to disenfranchise you. Never try to go ahead. Never work inside of a system that's not working for you. I think that the guys that are staying home and jacking off to anime all day, playing video games and not getting a job, I think they're fucking based. And I think we should have even more of it until it totally destroys society. And then maybe things can get better after that. That's what I think. That's my viewpoint, because that's where things are going to go anyway. So it's better for us to just get there faster. In general, like, if you're an average looking guy, and I've never been, I know you guys might not believe this, but I have never been on a dating website in my life. I have never gone and signed up for Tinder, Plenty of Fish, Farmer's Meat, Christian Mingle, any of this bullshit. I've never done this. And so anyway, sure, no, I'm just being honest, right? Like, that's just how it is. Bumble, any of this bullshit, they suck. But everything that I've heard, not even Grindr, and yeah, oh, you didn't mention that. No, any of that is still the same. And so, yeah, I've seen you on Christian Mingle. Well, that's a fake profile, okay? And so Anyway, so based, yeah, it sounds like hell. Yeah, and so like if you're a guy and you're not able to, find a girlfriend or anything like that, you're going to be having a really bad fucking time. And so when you keep getting denied over and over and over and over and over, eventually you stop trying. And I think it makes sense for guys to stop trying. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's not like they're bad people. It's just the truth. It's what makes sense. Of course that's the case.